What is this? Who knows, right? The final the final victory in the battle against ISIS is now in sight. HBO. Amazing. Just fresh off the press. Fresh off the press. And they couldn't wait to blast you with just the light.
It's been more than a month since the battle started to retake the town of Baghouz. From gun positions high above what remains of the caliphate, US-backed Kurdish and Arab militias known as the Syrian Democratic Forces or SDF have been raining down fire on ISIS.
Just relentless fire, just blasting. So they've been consuming the enemy with fire, just drowning them with relentless fire. Just building bombs everywhere.
But in the battle to end the Islamic State, this last portion is proving the hardest.
These guys are trying to take out the fighters with 50 caliber machine guns. They've actually had to stop the heavy artillery bombardment because SDF soldiers are now getting so close.
But the final victory is now in sight. The fact they've held out so long has surprised everyone.
Oh, they're all suicidal. The ones that remain are all suicidal.
حمیوانی اوید جهادیش در وهاتنه اوید خودن شر بکنه خود تسلیم بکن یعنی اوید یعنی بیرو باوری کیوانی
fully committed to the terrorist ideology, right? They're just committed. What is the ideology? Apparently some bash radicalized, radicalized version of what? Islam? The Quran, this, that, the other. Apparently somehow. But no. It's just misguided people. Right? They don't want to be associated with this, that, the other. No, misguided. All while the supposed Muslims of the world are Muslims in name. Because weren't they all just murdering each other, apparently, back then? So apparently everyone's relatively civil. No. The killing still goes on day in, day out, but it's just not sold as war. Because surely there isn't money and you can't do anything with just admitting the defilement that needs to take place, the abuse that needs to take place relentlessly in order to create some bad situation where people will actually support going to war. Or what does that even mean? Because what leads a person to live the life, to go kill another that they don't even know? Oh, the enemy. They know the enemy. They've dehumanized the enemy, so they'll just go out there and smash them, right? Somehow. What's going on? Oh, who knows? It's just how we've evolved. We've just evolved that way, somehow. No, you're deceived.
Adnan Afrin is an SDF commander. He's been fighting the Islamic State for more than 5 years.
Do you feel like this is the moment that it's going to be all over?
يعني تشتكي من نورمال يعني تبيجي سيستمك او قسم مازن دنيا حميله حيربو ونهايه تدبيني السيستم تكدي شيء خلاص دبا.
So it's a strange feeling having crushed an enemy. Really? Why is it such a strange feeling to have crushed an enemy? Isn't that the doctrine of being victorious? The victory, winning. It means crushing a supposed enemy, you bash. So what are you saying? Don't you want you think yourself on the winning side, right? As do they probably. They're the ones that you apparently are crushing and just turning to dust, right? Because truly, what are you fighting? What is it that you're fighting for? Crushing in the name of, supposedly. Who knows? But it's against the people that just wanted to go out and murder and decapitate all in the name of some bash thing that they call, the holy word. They're going out slaying people and decapitating people. Apparently, in the word of apparently according to their radicalized version, right, of whatever bash. But who knows? Sounds like the doctrine of that he who stealeth, kills, and devours. Yes, Lucifer, Satan. All by in name only, making you believe it's about A and B. What is going on? No, 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 no. It couldn't be. No, it has to be that the enemy is close to being defeated. Yes, yes, I must believe that. Yes. Thank you, Vice. Thank you for telling me what I wanted to hear.
طبعا يعني ايش كيويجي هبو يعني
Oh, but it's been so
زحمتي
painful
كيويجي
and
هبو
difficult.
رجاء
Oh, so
أفكرنا
many
لسيستم داعش
deaths.
حين رجاء إيرو
Oh, so many deaths. So many deaths, right? Just bashing you emotionally of which life takes priority over some other notion of life, right? Exactly. You believe yourself to be the arbiter of some relative truth that gets to decide who lives and dies. Wow. Wow. But no, they're all just fighting and they represent this country and that country, and they're all just killing in the name of some country. Wow, amazing. No. They're all worshippers of the light.
إشكنجة كم تقدر بس من أوقات ملات كوش بربو أوقات إنسانات كوشتن
Afrin is confident his forces are on the verge of history.
طبعا أف منطقة دمك إنه الناس ده ترزقار كنا
This was liberated only recently.
أفخانيت بدرجة شتاها بون
Who know? It's just like people that game out there. They're like, oh, it's just like the video game. We're going out here and taking over, stashing up our weapons and this and that and this and this. They love it.
أخوردني بدأ تياري اللي خست
It's from Toyota.
نعم
What do you know about who's still inside and what kind of preparations they've made for this last
You know,
stand?
for people, that game is like, oh, this would be an awesome map, an awesome just place to go and just murder. Amazing.
أف إنسان انتحاري أكيد هنا هون بحسي ناكن عربت ما ينكري وموينة عرضي هون أكيد هنا بحسي واجي ناكن تنال أكيد هنا
So
بحسي
there's the tunnels and IEDs and mines everywhere. Watch out.
واجي ناكن محتمل هناك إنسان مدني يجي دايك زاروك الجال خاجر تبن بيجو أجاهي ما
Oh,
جيتش
without our knowledge, some civilians have been detained. Without our knowledge.
دم بيش وأولان الداعشي
But we have relentless cameras that will show you everything, and bash, we're right there. Amazing. This is all ISIS. All ISIS. This is all the kingdom of ISIS that we're just going to bash in there and take back somehow. Amazing. By blasting it away. Just blasting it away, and fine, some civilians had to die, but it's for the greater good. The greater
أولان
good.
حمي أولان الداعشي
The SDF says that in the past few days they've managed to push ISIS out of most of Baghouz into a tiny piece of land by the Iraqi border.
And you're like, of course, otherwise they would have taken over the world by now, probably. So we just have to smash them back. Right, because you believe all, again, the method acting of all the characters and people, and just because we couldn't be, right, that it's just a big story, a big drama. Mystery 200-year-old letter revealed World War III plans and final battle against Islam. Well, what's going on? Albert Pike, who was a captain for the U.S. Army during the American Civil War, is alleged, again, they love that word, alleged to have penned a doctrine to an Italian politician, penned a doctrine, so penned some orders to follow, a way to an Italian politician outlining plans for 3 global conflicts to bring a one world government. Really meaning a one world worship of the false image. It plots how and why the First and Second World Wars raged in the early 1900s and provides a chilling prophecy over a third and final battle. So this guy, obviously a 33rd degree Mason, just loves the boasting and the sigil worship, the colors that just blast you, the double-headed eagle, the serpent, the pentagram and the pentagram and the cube and the stars, and somehow just defiling you. Amazing. All because boasting in some heritage of enlightenment. The illuminated ones just blasting themselves to the abyss, doing as thou wilt, making the way, making their way, worshipping that who truly in their eyes, in their third eye, rewardeth in the flesh. For the Creator is the bash one that just oppressed you and then just wanted to keep you down. Just to give, obviously you were going to die, so he lied to you and saying that you had eternal life, and that's why you had to eat from the tree of knowledge, but truly feeds you, and therefore you must live forever in how you become open to wisdom to craft for yourself. Well, that's what they worship. Sorcery, alchemy, the whispers of hermeticism and thought, and this and that and this and this and that and that and this. Ultimately, the serpent, the shapeshifter, the image shapeshifter that you believeth in, and now it's what truly you embody. You are the shapeshifter, feeling yourself to be a springer of light. Who knew? The letter features heavy in the book Satan. The letter features heavily in the book Satan, Prince of This World, by former naval officer William Guy Carr. They couldn't wait. It was reportedly sent by Pike, a Freemason, to Italian politician Giuseppe Mazzini, and was dated August 15th, 1871. Now, again, they couldn't wait to show you a posted big photo of him. Look at his posture, amazing. Kiss the ring and suck it all day, amazing. Military Chief Albert Pike was a captain in the American Civil War. Yes, sure. The letter, it is claimed. Again, why don't they just put alleged again? No, they had to just mash it up a little bit. Suggested World War I was planned to overthrow the Tsar in Russia and make Russia a communist stronghold, pinning one ideal against the other. Who knew? But they had to get rid of the Tsar somehow. Why? Because weren't they the last, was it the last kingdom? The last of the fairy tale world? The ones that they had to just kill off finally, because they had killed everyone off except these guys somehow. And they killed even the children, down to the last child. And you say, well, yeah, obviously, because you can't have any of those people just come and just smash you back. You have to kill them all. Amazing. So just genocide, amazing. And that's truly what happened. But allegedly, it was just, random acts. Just lust for power, no. It's who knew that it would be a well-crafted, executed, illuminated plan. Okay, truly illuminated by what bash light, and what image did it reveal to you? Exactly, you were deceived. You were deceived, and now you think you're rewarding the labors, the fruits of your labors, of how you've shaped what it is today. Self-fulfillment, self-prophesizing, self-fulfillment, for you truly believe in self-help, self-wisdom, self-navigation through the self of the higher selves, and this, and that's all it is, because we're just bash, hamburger meat, smash and just smashed, and spinning around some ball, chasing some ball of gas that, who knows, it's just super gravitron, but no, it pulls in, not out. And it's sometimes out and sometimes in, but it's also your electrons that are in and out, and you're just everywhere. And the multiverse of things, and the 33rd degree just blasts you. So somehow, that's what you all worship, and it's brought to you by cooked up, spirit cooked, and just sold to you as life and the struggles of war. And now we have to rebuild and remake humanity. And just bash you into thinking that humanity is always relentlessly slayed each other and bash and bash and bash and bash and bash forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. perhaps in the time before the 1,000 reign with Christ, that's why, Christ came to the earth, was born into the flesh, to reveal those who worship, those who were and lived through all the relentless, persecutions and this, for worshiping the true living creator. All in efforts because they were building something. They were building in their own image. So they couldn't have people that worshipped life, the true promise, life everlasting, because no, they were doing it in their Bash image, and they saw those followers of worshippers of the Creator as the enemy. What is going on? Oh no, it couldn't be. No. Somehow it's just those were the people that were just so filled with wisdom, and they saw, well, surely. But what did they see and what did they worship exactly? Their own blast, boasting, and how they could navigate and be loyal to the whispers of what they were, the apparitions that they blasted and took to be real. Satan was loosed after 1,000 years. Who knew? But no, it had to be all about method acting and this and this. Well, method acting is how to harness the influence of Satan. Who knew? To be split and promote splitting and worship of the shape-shifting experience. Wow. That isn't even real. It's just some that Bosch images captured on film and then Bosch regurgitated to you, and you say, oh, that story was nice. Somehow affecting you, now imprinting you. And they know it's part of the so-called art and industry. Who knew? And these people are, of course, illuminated in the ways of manipulation. Wow. So you're just a sitting duck. Because truly you can be, who knew that so a loyal, it's having the mind of a child, living. And if you see others, being misled and out, wow, you'd say, what are you doing? And they're like, no, you're wrong. And they're like, why? And then maybe some would be convinced, and then all of a sudden it would be harder to convince them because then they're like, no, you've become corrupt. And then they go, well, stay in your Bash thing, and I'm gonna go out make my own way. They left. But who knew they'd be back to just murder you? So what's going on? The First World War, right? World War II was sparked as a catalyst to destroy Nazism, so communism could take over warrior governments and for a sovereign state of Israel to be set up in Palestine. Oh, it's just coincidence that this letter contained that. Just coincidence. The Third Global War, according to Pike, will be fought between the West and leaders of Islamic war. It really says terror, war on terror. Okay, that's what it says. The letter says because isn't it this what it means? Between the West and the leaders of Islamic war. And what is going on now? Apparently some Bash fear of terror. So this is interesting because Pike is alleged to have written, according to Carr's book, the First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia and making the country a fortress of atheistic communism. Bash images of World War One. Of course, they had to capture it. It was a production, all while relentless men were sent to die. So who knew that they needed to just these men were deceived, worshipping something that led them to just get murdered. And they documented it perfectly and now rewrote it to mean whatever it is that you read in all the books. But what was going on? Why were these men led to just go and murder? Just murder. By the millions. The divergences caused by the agentur agents of Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. So who knew that these are loaded sentences? But I mean, deny, deny. But even so, right? If you believe this, well, what does it actually point to? Because if you say, oh well, why didn't I know about this? Oh yeah, I knew about this, but you knew about it, but then somehow it just doesn't matter. Oh. But then why are you still suffering and crying about policies and just going out and protesting and this and that and wanting better leadership? Is it because you believe in the leaders today? No, you worship the dead, right? Who knew that this Bash Albert Pike is some Bash that lived 200 years ago, 300 years ago probably, and all of a sudden it's surfaced. Well, just because it surfaced now doesn't mean that dead Bash was worshipped all along in executing all these doctrines. Because who knew that the whispers of Satan are as old as time, and over it's shapeshifted forms and taking different bodies and this and that, but forms of this shape shifted, and ultimately in you are the embodiment of Satan. You become its bitter. You do its bidding. And all while you think yourself a good person. What does that even mean, good? Oh, good, a base of goodness. What does that even mean? You do have no clue. The Second World War must be fomented, right? This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough, so emotionally charged enough, right? Rile them up so that they institute a sovereign state of Israel. So creating prophecy, biblical prophecy, right? Because supposedly now they have to recreate something that already happened 1,000 years ago. Right? Because supposedly the temple of Israel will be rebuilt, and the state, the promised land, this. So everybody believes that happened in 1948 or whenever that bash happened. But there's other documents that show that it was also, pre-planned, or at least a notion that had been presented years before, 1913 or something like that. So what's going on? Nobody knows. It's a cup and the money. Follow the money. Just the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds apparently smashed. Exactly. Just pitting you against each other into what you think is truth. Relative truths. You say, oh, well, it's just a conspiracy theorist that think that. Let that be their truth. And my truth is, well, the official story or whatever else bash story you want to believe, right? And all the while, Groundhog Day just smashes in, day out. I'm blasted with the same conflict of, well, this and that. What's the truth? Who knows? But we present it. We're the media, and we're the alternative media, and this and that, and this and this, and yes, yeah, whoa, smashed. Nothing. All the while, it's just blasting you in the face. Look, this war must be brought about Nazism, right? But who knows that idea about... So that Nazism, it's truly an idea. It's not that the Nazis lost the war. No. What is Nazism? The born again man somehow in the flesh, just blasting out his will. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would be then restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. Who knew? I mean, they're boasting in your face. They couldn't wait to tell you, does this mean Christians, usually Christians, just rein them in, defile them enough so that they're just in alignment with the ideals until we unleash them enough for the final battle somehow. What is even going on? These are bash. They couldn't wait to just bash you with the imagery that just bashed your mind and truly changed the image of the so-called world you live in. Who knew? Because that's truly what is manipulated relentlessly. So then you worship the image of the world, the ways of the world, and boast in your bash little image and bashing it and think you're boasting and growing and getting better. No, you're in the image of the Creator. Who knew? So what are you even doing? You're clueless. You have no idea. You're clueless about what life is. You're clueless about what truth is, and you're just relentlessly seeking a way that just fulfills you somehow. But no, it always leaves you unfulfilled, afraid, and relentlessly shanked. And you have to come up with relentless justifications and efforts and works and labors and works and labors and works to just prove your worth somehow in society. And yes, I'm worth because I'm fighting for you. Don't you see? Look, I'm fighting for you. I've devoted my life to this place and this cause and this, more jobs, higher pay, this. Look, I'm trying. Smash, drowned with the false promise. Just drowned. All the while, you just abused the living life out of you. Abused it, and then did it to the children because you couldn't wait. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agenter, the catalyst of the Illuminati. Agenter, what is that? Oh, so mysterious. Between the political Zionists and the leader of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. And from there riseth the phoenix from the ashes. Right, because you're saying, finally, all the religious people killed each other, and now the true children of the light can now take ownership of earth. Under one worship, one religion of, you guessed it, open-mindedness, complete mind control, complete surrender to the abyss. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, right, they pit against them another. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on the issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. Right? The premise of every, Terminator movie, every desolate, post-war sci-fi movie there is out there. Just the ones that just are exhausted. Yeah, there was a rebel, there was a rebel army, but it just got defeated. Just bash. And they're always now the little guy against the giant that still remains. Who knew? But somehow in sci-fi, it's some robot. Some AI and this and that and this and this. No, but that's what you worship. So it's continuously bashing you in the flesh. With who? By who? Man. Other flesh that you just worship. But no, you think it's somehow you're just doing good and better every day. And that you're winning some bash war. You're winning some bash war in the flesh, and you think that's winning at life. Wow. What a shame. Meanwhile, the other nations, exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Who knew that they would just openly defile you as they do in the closet? Who knew? Who knew that's the point? And then to show you that that's what you have become. And then still promise you to get out somehow through your own efforts. somehow. No, it was your own efforts that brought you to this. So what are you saying? Nothing. Exactly. Pure manipulation for the destruction of man. Because truly, who survives all this? Who survives this exhaustion that they're speaking of? Who survives it? Because obviously it's no one. No one. What are they talking about? For truly it's the plan for the annihilation of life. But all with the promise that you're the one in control, and finally you're going to pass through the sun, and you're going to galactic family this and be rewarded, and blah blah blah, smashed. Oh, while in the flesh you get priesthood status. You get to just experience all the pleasures of whatever the flesh wanteth, in all depravity, in all sickness, because apparently that's what you worship. So what's going on? Oh no, I have a sense of what I'm a good person. Yeah, you're a good little worshiper of the light, going along with every little story that's given to you to fear and fight for and get alongside, join this and that. All while what is killing, killing? Just kill, kill, kill. I'm afraid. Kill them before they kill us. Kill. I'm afraid of bringing life into the world. Kill it. I'm afraid of my own life. Kill yourself. They kill themselves. See, I mean, it's killing, killing, killing. Oh wow! Because you want to escape. The life knows what this bash is now. And no matter how many band-aid, psychology sessions and psychotherapies and bash pills that you want to take, you will not be able to hide from it for too much longer. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, something to live for, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. Well, I mean, who knew that guy was a linguist, a wordsmither? For if this is truly, straight out of the letter, well, he's very detailed. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both into the New World religion, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Wow. So who knew that this is the counterfeit of, the book of Revelations of John? It's given you the some bash 33rd degree Martians, prophecy. So it's a counterfeit. But this is what you worship now. And you're like, look, guys, it's telling us what exactly happened and this and this. But yet, somehow you still worship Lucifer. So it's almost like Lucifer is just telling you, guys, I finally am telling you what I did, but I'm doing it for your good. Because who knew that you probably just hate, Christianity, what you think it is. You hate what it is to, be atheist. You hate all these things. You're like, oh, they have the bashes and this and that and this. But ultimately, it's being used against you because clearly, what did it say? Christendom would be used just to serve, right? So where are the followers of Christ? Because those are the holy. Well, who knew that they're living? Because they surely aren't the boasters and this and this and that. No. Who knew they endure the flesh, worship in Christ, and they're surrounded? Who knew? By the love of the Lord. Who knew? So what is it that they need from the world to just go out there and smash and change? No, they know that all this bash, has been orchestrated and is being executed before your eyes, whether you think it was by this bash, Freemason, or if it's just biblical prophecy, fulfilling in the flesh before your eyes. Right? Because that's truly what they're giving you. They're giving you the manly, guy that prophesied apparently what they're doing, what's happening, right? What the embodiment of Satan is doing. Or you believe, as you have been believing perhaps for a long time, since you saw the word, since you heard the word, and seek refuge in the truth of the word, and truly were, the wisdom through the revelations of John spoke to you, and you could see. So why would you need some bash, Bible pie guy to tell you, oh, now I can believe it. Now I can believe that, things are coming to pass. But no, it's just some regular ass people everywhere, and this politics are just so random, and then blah 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 blah. It's just so random what people are, swayed to, emotionally be swept into, namely wars and this and that. But oh no, it couldn't be, ideals or platforms or anything like that either. No. And none of the psychological, relentless techniques are used against us. No. They're just used whenever we choose to go and to get blasted and sit down on a couch. That's when it's used on us. No, smashed. You're just clueless. Again, the bimbo from that movie. Who knew you love it? As if. Blah, blah, blah. Exterminated at the same time, right? So, almost like the final judgment. So Albert Pike has spoken, and now he's setting the plan for the final judgment, where apparently he will be the one in power, right? Or at least his doctrine, right? His worship, the worship of Lucifer, will finally be out in the open, right? But what he doesn't tell you is that, wow, at that moment, what? Who knew? Who knew that when Satan is out in the open, you will see, you will not be able to hide from it, for it will reveal it to you in all its depravity and all its. At that point, what? It's too late, because it's the final look. Because both conquered and exterminated at the same time. So anybody who's left after all this devastation and now exterminated. So it's just death, resolve, murder, killing, and systemically telling you how they're going to do it. Right? But you say, oh, it's the systemic oppression of racism and inequality and gender this and gender that and nothing this and nothing that. Right? Just divided, pitting one against the other and calling it a day. It's like you relentlessly like to go into the ring and punch truck yourself and pit yourself against whoever. It's like, okay, go give me that kid, because then I can say it's this, and now I'm abusing that. And we'll call it this, victimhood of that, victimhood of this, but relentless victim. Make sure you stay in victimhood, people. Make sure you just live the victim and just boast in it and boast, because there's reward in it. Don't forget, Lucifer tells you that you were the victim and he saved you out of it, right? Because it couldn't be that you were the one that chose to follow Lucifer, to let Lucifer be your light. No, it couldn't be, right? No, it couldn't be. It was originally claimed the text was on show at the British Museum's library and was mysteriously taken down in the 1970s. Who knew you wouldn't want people to, all of a sudden ask questions about that, and never seen again. Both the British Museum and the British Library confirmed to the Daily Star Online there is no record. Right, just erased it. Smile, you've been erased. Of the letter being in the establishment's possession, of course. Although very few have seen the letter, its existence is still hotly debated among conspiracy theorists, and many believe it accurately Foretells of world events. Okay, because wow, they couldn't wait to tell you this. Although very few have seen the letter, right? So who knew that your worship of so-called history is based on cooked up interpretations of copies, and the originals are just somehow destroyed, missing. In the references or whatever, it says, Bash original, lost, or does, original lost, does not exist. So you have copies of copies, right? Copies of copies, and that's what you worship. But then you question the Bible and you say, "Oh, it's just copies." No, what are you saying? Nothing. You're void. So you worship something, but then mock something else, and then that's how you justify keeping doing the same thing. Why? Because you could just justify, say, well, it's still debated, so I'm fine. There's nothing to worry about. It's still debate. It's still the jury's still out on it. But what jury? What jury? No, because truly that letter exists or it doesn't. So what's the debate? Because clearly there's been, they say alleged, it's alleged letter, and there's somehow it was a museum, but then it wasn't, and then a few people have seen it, but somehow it did. But it's boasting some dude, some Albert Pike guy, and they couldn't wait to show you who he was. Prophecies and predictions point towards a theory that World War III is inevitable. Premonition by French prophet blah blah Nostradamus. A Muslim army marching through Europe and claiming a third world war will soon begin and end in 27 years' time. Right? And so people are going to go, oh, when did he live? What? Make them do the math, blah, 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 blah. And of course, what? Who knew? It's around us. It's there. It's here. What are they saying? Who knew that this French prophet, right? Not so, who was this? Was he channeling? Who knew that when you channel, it's just whispers of the shape-shifting, soothing tickles of Lucifer? Who knew? For be still with the Lord. Fast and pray. Who knew? That's union with the Lord. But no, you just have to blast and, go into some plane with Baby Buddha and just navigate and just toy around. Giggle and, roll around some pixie dust and laugh and just giggle all day. That happened last year when Russia and later Vladimir Putin annexed the region from the Ukraine. What is this? Bosh. So look at all these Bosch stories. So was that the end of this Bosch chapter, of this Bosch article? Jewish oracle, right? So they tell you, so believed to have warned Jews to start preparing for the end of days when Russia captured Crimea shortly before his death in 1797. So then they couldn't wait to tell you of other prophecies, right? So it's like, oh, it's not this guy, there's other ones, but who knows if they were fulfilled or this and that. Bash. Who knew that Jesus Christ is the spirit of all prophecy? The word in the flesh that's spoken to his people. Those who recognize that they are children of the Creator, children of God. So even though you are given life, you choose who to worship. You choose who your Father is, in the sense of what your total glory and worship is for in the flesh. Your gratitude, everything. It's above the supposed self and the self-awareness, or any astral plane you could even blast into. It is that. And not has to be, but it's just the proof is everywhere in the life that relentlessly brings forth. But instead you worship death. And that which has passed, and the past murmurs and quotes and quotes and quotes about relentless philosophical just theories that, apparently some bashes just couldn't handle it and they kill themselves. They just dropped dead relentlessly. Who knew? All because they were just into the system. They went into the abyss, seeking some system that just told them how to just bash. Yes. That happened the last year, blah, blah, blah. Slatman foretold Russia would then go to war with Turkey before the Russians would team up with Muslims for the final battle. So the Russians will team up with the Muslims for the final battle. Right, they couldn't wait to just blast you. Because apparently this letter has been around for a while, but now it's, a few years ago they put it out in this Blast Daily Star in the UK. Right? So systematic destruction and demoralization of man. Right? Ultimately, because the ultimate severance is the lifeline to the Father. That is the ultimate attempt. That's what they're hacking at. They're relentlessly demoralizing the union, the lifeline that the Creator has promised. For you, that is the purpose of creation. Life everlasting with the Creator who knew. But no. It has to be that the people that promise me things, and I get mad when they say they don't. What a shame. You have no idea what the promise is. You think it's just, compromise and this and just sticking to your word. What is the word? The word is just something that just came from the ape. Nope. Apparently the phonetics and the demitones and the semitones and this, the way we speak, well, it's somehow alien. No, not alien. It's a masterpiece. But what does it murmur? What does our voice speaketh? For if not the truth, then what is it? Just bashhood, right? It's just more bash. Fulfillment of just soothing somebody's broken ears, broken hearts, broken shell that they believe themselves to be. Yet we're all there just trying to soothe the suffering. We're all just trying to soothe the suffering where we just can't bear to admit that we're doing it to ourselves and are abandoned. And we're the breakaway civilization. The one that you think is happening in the space, in the stars somewhere? No, you're lost. We truly are the breakaway for ideology that is killing us. Truly. Killing, just totally hacking at at the spirit. And we're making a mockery of the holiest spirit. We're making a mockery in every show that just jokes about anything related to a creator, anything that suggests, something called peace, something called, when they say world peace, what is this? False promise. They give you false promise, and then that's an excuse for you to go and just trample over the holiest thing that ever was and ever will be, life, the true promise, the Creator's true promise, His eternal love. Unconditional, but no, you have to just go whore and kill for your relative bash sense of truth and this because everyone deserves to just do what they want, so I'm going to go out and kill and make sure there's nobody left to oppose that idealism. Alright, okay, we're good now. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? And you say, that's just been the whole way, we've done it through tribes and time again. No, you have been deceived. Final battle. Look. So what comes after, the supposed victory against terror? Another terror. Who knew? Just flipping it out and then turning exactly continually pitting the one against the other until they all kill themselves. Who knew? But no. It's just that Satan rewards some man, the top of the top, the crumb of the crumb. Right? No. For surely any just Bosch that thought he was gonna had place in betraying, right? If he was, a spy or whatever for an opposing enemy, and then helped, the enemy supposedly victory over that which the spy was supposedly, loyal to, that guy's murdered. Why would they fulfill the promise of whatever they promised him? No, they just used him. The useful idiot they call it. But no, it's just somebody that really identifies and gets purpose and reward in serving some false promise. Yet are rewarded in the flesh, so they think that they're doing it right by receiving reward in the flesh, because you say, oh, I don't have any reward from the Lord, the Creator, so I'm just going to go and bash and bash and bash. Lost. Truly decapitated like a chicken, all bleeding out, thinking you're making your own way. Wow. Just blasting, right? Just blasting shells after the next shell, all for freedom, right? Freedom. And the press can't wait to relentlessly be there to show you freedom at the frontier. Look at him run. He's the engineer blasting, setting the mines. Look at him.
Because you can hear the sniper rounds.
Oh, you can see the
whistling
sniper rounds.
past.
So what are you doing standing up, you fool?
There's a lot of
Oh,
gunfire
no.
still.
Well, look, he just went over and walked open in the clearing, and there's a sniper around, apparently, and he's up walking. Apparently, there's a sniper, and look, there's a wall here, but this guy's down, but this guy's just, well.
ISIS is very close to this position.
Oh, so now he gets down.
There's fighters in there.
Yeah.
What?
Still.
They have a flag on top of.
So who knew that you could just blast? Say you had tanks, right? And you just see them firing, and you see them flying, and in the distance you see something being crushed, like a mountain and something. And they're saying the enemy's over there, but all while you're just blasting, right? You're blasting, and the story just reads, and you're like, wow, you buy it all. So what's actually happening? You don't know, but this Bosch is telling you.
And they have weapons?
Yes, they have a lot of weapons.
So they're hitting you with missiles too?
Yeah.
Even now, there's still fighters.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, of course. What are you saying, you Bosch? Shut up. So he's like, we told you there was a sniper, but you stood up and walked through, above the wall, and so you crushed the scene. So I'm pissed off at you, so I'm just gonna ignore you. Oh, look at, hey, blast. Blast it, hit it, right? Smoke something. So they're just in some dog pound, right? Some junkyard, and they're just blasting rockets at each other.
So,
Life to death.
so there's a lot of incoming fire. So
Rush.
these guys are using RPGs to try to push the ISIS fighters further back.
He's like, I got good shot, yes.
As
I
we're
smashed
hurried
him.
out of Sniper Alley, we pass the area where ISIS women
So we wiped out Sniper A, just killed him, and now we moved into the next section.
and children were recently living, and find remnants of what they left behind.
شنو هذا؟
تبع
This
داعش.
belongs to ISIS.
هذا مصاري فلوس داعش
This is money. It is ISIS money.
كم؟
25 ليرة فلوس 25 فلوس
So they're out raiding, getting all the ISIS money.
In a rare view from the air, you get a sense of why this battle has taken so long. Even in recent days, the fighters apparently still had fuel.
Oh, so by aerial view, it's clear why the battle has taken so long. No, it's not clear. But they would like you to believe why. Is it because they're just relentless cars everywhere? And somehow you don't have infrared, and somehow you don't have this and all the technologies of the world that Israel can't boast enough to say that they have, and this, and the U.S. can't boast enough to say that they have, and this, but somehow just a bunch of cars in the way, right, and a few buildings, right? It's just why it's taken so long.
This battle has taken so long. Even in recent days, the fighters apparently still had fuel, and the SDF had to try and avoid women and children still inside.
Right, so and then they're just tenting, and then all the women, they have women and children just tenting alongside them. So human shield, amazing.
This ISIS video shows the intensity of the fight from inside.
Does it?
This week, they've recaptured most of these streets. The SDF has had to move cautiously. 60,000 people have streamed out during the siege so far.
Oh, right, 60,000. Right, 60,000 now refugees just seeking a new home. Right, they're recreating, the passage, right? You'll be driven out from your home, but you will be promised a new land, the true promised land. Right, what are they saying? What are they saying?
By night, the sky over Baghouz is lit up by explosions.
قدام كم؟ أري يك چار شش سه يك چار شش سه
14463. Blast.
The SDF, along with US forces, have been stepping up the bombardment.
So blasting at night. They couldn't wait to just blast at night. Why not a day? Just at night.
What do you think it's like to be inside right now?
Exactly, the predator just can't wait to attack at night.
أول حمود ماشين يعني الشغل سي باسكا أول سادة ديشن زاتن دوش قي أول دخن أول بسلاح جرام بسلاح بيشوف
Hitting them with light and heavy bash. Hitting them with light
زاتن دوش
and heavy weapon. They're blasting them with the light because they're just illuminated, right?
قي أول دخن أول بسلاح جرام بسلاح بيشوف.
It's hard to believe anything could withstand this. But for right now, ISIS is still clinging on to this very last corner of the caliphate.
Just blasting you. Bosh. Where did that explosion go? Right? What is this? Nothing. It was nothing. It was false hope. It was nothing. It was boasting of this guy. Because what's after, do you say, well, surely World War III, it's inevitable, but there's this cooked up, space war cooking up, right? It's not just the 3 wars that this Bosch was talking about. He was talking about, so what happens after all the Bosch? Apparently, this is so that there will be survivors. So the survivors then will have to face an alien invasion, and that will be what unites them. Is it not? Because the alien invasion, and that's why you're boasting for disclosure because you believe in aliens, and that they've been whispering. And instead of just seeing it for what it is now, you've created. It's like dark energy. Instead of seeing the creation for what it was, you've created all these bashes and things to just justify your own bashhood. The rebel in you for no reason. Just for the mere pleasure of friction. Can't get enough. Because apparently even in your own deception, you're still seduced by the friction. Always. So what's going on? A space war, a space threat, an alien invasion. Because truly, perhaps back then in 17 Bash, what was he talking about? Was he talking about Lucifer is now in the forefront? Alien invasion to the forefront. All these Bash notions of interdimensionalism and blah blah blah, fallen angels, blah 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 blah. It's the same thing. Satan, aliens, Bosch, same thing. Shapeshifters. It could take a new form of the light. Who knew? And that's why you apparently worship the light, because it just captivated you and deceived you, taking you away from the actual life within the image of the Creator that you were created in. Wow. And now you're just led to just believe that you have to find your own purpose and your own righteousness, and fine, you'll go fight if you have to. What a shame. Misled. But apparently, the final battle against Islam it's just coming to an end, right? ISIS is finally gonna calm down. What is going on? Smashed.